Hey everyone, it's your girl Jay. I'm the owner and founder of Matters of My Heart and Jay the Author Publishing. I actually own two companies and they run parallel. One is dealing with the experience and the other is dealing with the voice. So putting that experience into writing. So I run those two companies. And the reason why I am in your face today is because I'm actually launching a brand new program through Matters of My Heart, which is one of my companies. And it's an emotional support program. So what that means is exactly that. It is a program that helps others deal with what I would like to call the nevers in life. You know, things that we never thought would happen, and it did happen to us. So how do you cope with that? How do you deal with that? How do you move on with that? Because life doesn't stop because you're hurting. So how do you continue on in this life dealing with those things that are really hard to deal with people? So one of my really, really good friends, which you may know him already because now he's been a superstar for about a couple of months now. Why? Because he's in my brand new book. That is good. We are so corny. We both
Man, go get this book. Go get the book.
I love it. We are so corny. I love it. But Mikey, Mr. Michael Parker Jr. things happen in my life, but the platform Matters of My Heart is really dealing with the core, because what's on the inside is eventually going to show up on the outside. So you can work on the outside all you want to, but if you don't fix that core thing that's in your heart, and I know you know this more than anybody, what's on the outside is going to come back out, and it's going to be ugly, and it's going to be nasty. I don't care how pretty you are, but if you're spitting up verbal vomit, you're ugly as hell, and people see that. And so that's hurt and that's pain. So let's deal with that. Let's get down to it. And you know, what is a never that you've experienced in your life that you want to share with everyone?
Well, as we kind of touched on right there, my never, it was absolutely that, like something that I could never, you couldn't have told me. I'm 33 years old. You couldn't have told me that I would have experienced this at this time. But my never, unfortunately, took place on my birthday, March 23rd of 2014. Unfortunately, I lost my best friend. I lost my role model. I lost the person who taught me everything that I know today. Like, I am the man that I am today because of this guy, and
Wow.
and that was my fault.
I'm not.
Yeah, so
I'm not gonna cry. I said I wasn't gonna cry, but I know you. I know you. You know what I'm saying? So it's just like I'm not interviewing a stranger. I know you. I've seen you. I've seen your walk. I know your heart. So I'm like really close to this story, and it's hard not to show some type of emotion because I know the man that I see, and I've been around for the past couple of years, just how strong and courageous and just your heart is so pure. And that's really hard to find in a man in my world. You have to understand that because I come from a world where men are abusive. And, but when I met you, it was completely different. So I knew that you came from someone that instilled that in you. And not everyone have that story of, being blessed with a good father, a good role model. And you have that still. I mean, you're carrying on, even though he's not here physically with you. He's still here spiritually with you, and you're carrying on his spirit every day. Go ahead. I'm sorry. Keep going.
No, absolutely. Like that's exactly right. That keeps me going. Like just I walk every day now just to make him proud.
Wow.
You know what I mean?
Yeah.
And even though I know he's not here, I know he's proud of me and my family for pushing through what we had to go through. I mean, that's just the start of what my never was. I mean, as I said, on my birthday in 2014, on my 32nd birthday, I really became a grown man. I've been saying that for years, that I'm a grown ass man.
Right. No, you don't
But
wrong yet.
yeah, no.
Right.
But on my 32nd birthday, I really became a grown man.
Yeah.
And I say that because after my dad passed, my mom was sickly, and me and my sister became her caregivers. And like our lives after my dad passed, like within an hour after that, like our lives totally changed. I mean, because we now went from, kids or children to now we're a caregiver.
Wow.
Um, yeah, so it was just it was just like it was life altering, life changing. I mean, just losing one person like that, um, I mean, it really shook everything up. He was the rock of our family. Like he had anything that I couldn't figure out myself, I didn't have an answer to. Somehow, some way, this dude had the answer to it. I don't know. I don't know how, but he always had the answer. So he was who we leaned on as a family, especially after my mother got sick. We all leaned on him because when we got weak, he's who we felt
right.
was just shitty. You know?
I mean, you lost both your parents 9 months apart.
Right. So 9 months after losing my dad, a week after Christmas, we lost our mother. And we found out Christmas Eve, I believe it was, that that she had a week to live. So it was just a year from hell. I mean, I could have never imagined losing one parent. Losing both in the same year was just out of this world.
But one thing too, Mikey, is that when your dad passed away on your birthday, you went straight into caregiver mode. So there was no time for you to mourn the death of your dad because you went straight into caregiving for your mom, like full time. I mean, your dad was helping you, and then your family, your sisters and everybody was helping you, but you had to go from burying one parent to straight into like caring for full time someone else, who your mom, who is your last parent alive, and she was extremely sick. So you kind of knew the outcome. You didn't know when, but you knew it was eventually going to happen. And just that by itself, Mike, especially for you, because I admire your strength and tenacity for all of the things that you've gone through, but then picking yourself up and continuing to live after having the greatest loss of your life. I often, and this is something that you could help me with, like, how do you live when so much has been taken from you? What advice would you give to someone like that?
Well, the first bit of advice I would give, and you touched on it too, is and I tell people this all the time that's going through something similar to losing a parent or a loved one. Now I tell them allow yourself to grieve. I really didn't have that time because, like you said, I went right from losing a parent to burying a parent to becoming, a full-time caregiver.
Right.
So, and also my dad being the rock of the family, and him being a natural protector. I'm a natural protector, so I went into a natural mode of protecting my family. You know what I mean? Again, allow yourself to grieve. Like, you don't be tough for anybody. You don't have to show no front or anything like that. Grieve. You lost somebody that you loved and cared for. You owe it to yourself to grieve. You know what I mean?
That's good.
And I also I would also suggest, like, rely on your faith.
Yeah.
You know what I mean? People these days believe in a lot of different things, and that's fine. But whatever that is, fall into that.
Right.
Believe in that. If I didn't have it, I don't know where I would be. If I didn't rely on my faith, I don't know where I would be. I mean, you ask, like, how do I continue to live after losing so much? And it's just like my faith. Like, it had to. I mean, it really grounded me.
Right.
You know what I mean? And it's that again pushes me. And then my support system. I mean,
oh, that's so important.
Oh my gosh, rely on
that is so important.
People that care about you.
Yeah,
you know,
absolutely.
You being one. You know, Corey and Daoud and Donnie.
Yeah.
And my whole Brandon, my whole circle.
Yeah.
You know, I mean, those dudes. Now this part, I'm not
about to cry. I'm about to cry though, seriously.
I'm not gonna cry about this, but those dudes in my moment of weakness, where I had to be strong for everybody else, those dudes literally picked me up.
Wow.
And they recognized it. I didn't have to call.
Right.
I didn't have to
Right.
ask anything. You know, both of my entire crew, they both, for both of my parents' funerals,
yeah,
they both carried. I mean, they carried both of my parents, excuse me, to their final resting place.
wow.
And like, I didn't have to ask. You know what I mean? And it was just, and a quick story, like when my dad was in the hospital and it was, you know, towards the end for him, and we're going up to that floor.
Yeah.
Now, mind you, my boys beat me to the hospital that night. And we're going up to that floor, you know what I mean,
mm-hmm.
to say our final goodbyes. And like, even the doctors and the nurses and my aunts and uncles was just like, wow, like your friends, your support system is awesome. You know,
and then so I know people in my life. I know you. I know others that have gone through some really tough times, but seem to have made it. And when I say seem to have made it, it's not that you're on top of the world, but you're smiling, because there was a period when you didn't smile.
Mm-hmm.
So helping people get back to that place of smiling again, share. But I want to reach the ones that are really, really hard to reach, because they have been so wounded by the battle. They've been in battle and they've been wounded really, really, really bad. That's who I'm going after, and I'm going to get them.